Hi everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, and in this video, I want to take a deep dive into the woman, Miss Kristie Smith, who has filed a lawsuit against OWN and some stars of the show Belle Collective, including Letitia Pearson and Selena. Now, before we get into these details, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. Shout out to the amazing YouTuber Hannah Grace. I've always loved her energy whenever she would speak on various panels. She just seems like such a smart, level-headed woman. Shout out to Hannah Grace. She has an awesome YouTube channel. And early this morning, while I was getting ready to log in for work, I listened to her video about this alleged lawsuit. Definitely check out Hannah Grace's video because she literally reads the legal documents verbatim. Also, since work, I see where Diana Rose has made a video as well. I want to look into the amazing woman who is very upset about her her life's work being taken and used as a storyline, allegedly. Allegedly, Letitia, I am just taking a deep dive into the woman she is upset, and I totally get the reason why. So we're going to talk about Miss Kristie Smith. She's a beautiful lady, and this is her Facebook. And I have the post, her latest post that she has up, dated October 19th. So just about 2.5 weeks ago. And her caption, we're going to get into the visuals, but her caption reads, "I am pissed that they took my likeness, professionalism, etc., but my son's foundation is where I draw the line." Those words are meaningful. And she's talking about turning pain into purpose, which we've heard one of the cast members say on the show. At my lowest, on Mother's Day 2023, May 14th to be exact, I was contemplating leaving the world as we know it because the pain was too much to process. With tears in my eyes and immense pain in my heart, I sat at my computer and started developing my son's foundation, Omarion K. Walker Foundation, in his name and in his honor. Turning my pain into purpose, those were the words that kept ringing in my ear. I'm not taking away the fact that someone else suffered a tragedy, but that particular story is not anyone else's to tell. So this is the first visual that she has up. It is a snippet of the other Facebook page, which is the Omarion K. Walker Foundation. His mom, Kristie Smith, is suing, and this is her Facebook page. So let's go to the next visual. So now she's showing where she is a bail bondswoman, and she's showing her business card, and it says, it's a screenshot of a post. "Hope you or your loved ones never need me, but if you do," and she leaves her phone number 24/7, 365 days a year, just like the card says. And it is her name, Kristie E. Smith Lewis, bail enforcement and soliciting agent, 24/7, 365 days a year, and her business address on East River Place in Jackson. All right. Then she shows an advertisement where she did a radio interview, of course, with Tamra Cherie from Belle Collective. And the topic was about her son's foundation, the Omarion K. Walker Foundation. And if you're wondering what happened to Omarion, he was born in April 2003. And his life ended in late November 2022. He was in November, late 2022 in November. He was just 19 years old. And so on this post where she is advertising her radio interview, Tamra Cherie is in the comments. And she typed, "What are the odds? Turning pain into purpose. You're inspiring others, Kristie. So let's take a look at her next visual. She's also a paralegal. So Kristie Smith is a very hard worker. She has various streams of income, and she works for the Legal Helpers of Mississippi, LLC. Legal support services tailored to fit your needs. Contact us to get started today. So she is showing who she is and how, major parts of her life are being duplicated, in her opinion, on the show. So then she's showing how she is a senior paralegal and an independent contractor, a beautiful woman, professional. And she's showing where she works at the Legal Helpers. Okay, so this is a post that she made about her son's foundation. And she wrote, "Today was an amazing day. I am elated. Omarion K. Walker Foundation provides support to victims' families, mentor our youth through community events, sports, and other recreational programs and events. We want to raise awareness and begin the process of eliminating crime/pow violence in our community. Donations are used to sponsor these events. The children are our future. Let's make it safe for our children and our community by working together to end pow violence. No one should have to suffer the pain I have since November. Son, I hope you're proud of me. Kai and Omari will know how special you are and how much you love them." So she has pictures of her grandsons, Kai and Omari, on her Facebook page. So Omarion was a dad, and he left behind his two sons. So that's what I learned from looking at her Facebook pages. Your legacy will live on forever. Special thank you to all of the participants, generous donors of monetary contributions, those who have donated time. Thanks to everyone who came to show their support and the ones who wanted to be present but were not able to. You all are appreciated. Visit the website to keep up with the upcoming events. When I went to the OmarionKWalkerFoundation.org website, I was not able to pull it up, but again, there is the Facebook page. So Kristie, it appears that she is in a Belle Collective Facebook group, and it's titled Belle Collective Original Savage Gossip Group. And she wrote, "After viewing the recent episodes, I was extremely disappointed to see elements of my professional background and personal life mirrored on screen, particularly references to being both a paralegal and a bail bondsman, followed by statements about filing your divorce and getting you out of jail. Any licensed attorney or experienced paralegal knows why such a claim is not only misleading, but legally inaccurate. I made note of it, but chose to reserve judgment. However, the subsequent storyline, including a theme that closely resembles the mission, message, and purpose of the foundation that I created in honor of my late son, crossed a line. I want to be clear. I do not question anyone's pain, grief, or personal journey, but using components of my experience, my professional identity, and my advocacy work without acknowledgement or permission is unacceptable. My son's legacy and the foundation built in his name are not plot devices, marketing angles, or creative inspiration for television. They are the product of real trauma, real loss, and real work in the community. To see those elements repurposed for entertainment or personal gain, while my original efforts and organization are ignored, is deeply disheartening and highly concerning. This is not a personal attack on any individual, but there is a major difference between drawing inspiration and misappropriating someone's likeness, work, or narrative. I always protect my name, my professional reputation, and most importantly, my son's legacy. I am addressing the matter through the appropriate channels. First of all, Miss Kristie Smith, I am very sorry for your loss. I give you my condolences. I admire your strength to still keep going and to start the foundation, because not only are you upholding your son's legacy, it's also serving as a reminder of why the foundation even exists. So I definitely admire your strength. She is a fascinating writer. Miss Kristie Smith, you are a dynamic writer, because I feel your pain. I feel where you are disturbed by what is happening. And I'm so curious because obviously I see at least one Belle Collective connection, you interviewing with Tambra Cherie. So I'm curious if you've ever met Letitia Pearson, or if she was at the radio station when you interviewed with Tambra, or did Tambra tell her about you? You know, obviously she knows of your son's legacy. You know, I'm guessing, Letitia, allegedly. It would be, highly coincidental if she had not heard of you at all, just in my opinion. But I feel your pain, and I'm sorry again for your loss. So she writes again, let me be clear. There is a real woman behind the storyline some of y'all are suddenly trying to profit from. A real paralegal, a real licensed bail bondsman, a real restaurant owner, and a real mother who buried her son and turned her pain into a documented mission and a trademarked movement in 2023, long before anyone tried to imitate it for TV relevance. What's wild is watching pieces of my real life, my work, my tragedy, my purpose, and even my tagline suddenly being repurposed and performed like it's someone else's reality. That's not inspiration. That's not coincidence. That's misappropriation. And I won't sit quiet while my truth is cut up, copied, and passed off as a storyline. There's one me. I lived this. I built this. I paid for this in tears, paperwork, blood pressure, and burial fees, not camera time. In my real life, if my real life is so compelling that it has to be borrowed for ratings, then at least give the same energy to credit and respect. Because I promise you, I will protect my name, my story, my brand, my foundation, and my son's legacy with every legal and personal resource I have, period. And she tagged the Belle Collective social media show. So, Miss Kristie, all I know is all of the lawsuits for which you are the paralegal on, I know that the writing is top tier. So I can already tell you're an amazing paralegal. So she has written more. This is from, I started the Omarion K. Walker Foundation on May 14th. I think that's a typo. She says 2025, but she meant 2023. On Mother's Day, while most mothers spent the day celebrating with their children and loved ones, I was fighting to stay alive. I was grieving, broken, and trying to navigate a pain I wouldn't wish on anyone. In that darkness, I made a choice. Instead of letting my pain consume me, I would turn my pain into a purpose. That choice is what gave birth to my son's foundation. Turning pain into purpose is not just a saying to me, it is the lifeline that pulled me through my lowest moment. Those words are tied to my son, my healing, my mission, and my motherhood. So, trauma, faith, and survival, so for someone to casually take my words that came from trauma, faith, and survival, and use them as a tagline for attention, marketing, or personal branding is not okay. And let me be clear, it's not cool to use my likeness in any form, and it is especially not cool to use my son's foundation or the message behind it for anyone else's storyline, gain, or image. My story is not your content. My pain is not your promotional material. My son's legacy is not a prop. This phrase and this purpose has been a part of my public voice and presence for years. It has been on my social media and my messaging and woven into the identity of the Omarion K. Walker Foundation. I built this from real pain, real loss, and real purpose, not for entertainment or imitation, and certainly not for anyone else's benefit. And when you go to the Omarion K. Walker Foundation's Facebook page, there's a merch that you can buy. Like, it looks like hoodies and t-shirts. This is something that means a lot to her, that she's definitely invested in. And she made another post. Belle Collective took the real life of a real woman, her profession, her tragedy, her resilience, her trademarked movement, and repackaged it for TV to profit, to gain relevance. And this is some of the posts from the Omarion K. Walker Foundation's Facebook page. And she wrote back in 2023, May 18th, 2023, in his name, in his honor, turning pain into purpose. So she can document its originality. I debated about starting this foundation because I heard every day, but I know God has bigger plans for us both. I'm following his lead, Omarion K. Walker Foundation. And then this is like a close-up of that post. And then this is a close-up of her promoting the interview on the radio station with Tambra, and Tambra commenting, turning pain into purpose. You're inspiring others, Kristie. And then it starts back up again. So she has gone through a lot, and she has been working a lot on her son's foundation. I mean, I do see some similarities in storyline. I can remember earlier seasons of Belle Collective. Everyone was wondering, what does Letitia do professionally? No, none of us could really see the whole brunch thing as like a profitable business. And I get it. We don't own the business, so we don't know what the tickets are versus the expenses and if there's any profits left. But everyone was so confused. At one reunion, eventually, Carlos King asked her, he says, some of the viewers are confused about what you do for a living. And I could have sworn that's when Letitia said that she is a property manager and she's a bail bondsman. And that was pretty much all we heard about her professional life. And then this current season, we saw a really short scene where it looks like she's sitting, I thought she was sitting maybe like at a coffee shop, and she has some paperwork and she's on the phone and she's saying, okay, so your next court date is, and then, it like cut away to another scene or something, or someone came in. So we don't really see her in her professional life, but Kristie Smith definitely is serious about being upset about her real life allegedly being used as a storyline on Belle Collective. And I feel like it's got to be very traumatizing when you see something that you feel like, oh my gosh, that's me. That's my slogan that I came up with after I lost my son and I started a foundation to honor his legacy. Oh my gosh, I'm a bail bondswoman. This is what I do. What the heck? What are the odds? And I know her cast member. She interviewed me. It's got to be extremely disturbing, and you have to feel helpless, like you cannot control. And this is something that's in the legal documents that Hannah Grace read, where she says that, she no longer has control like over her brand and her life portrayal. And it almost reminds you of like when you hear about the movie industry is moving in the direction where like actors, their likeness could be used in other projects, like thanks to technology, AI, so I feel really bad for Miss Kristie Smith. But this is a very, very interesting story. Hannah Grace has already committed to bringing any legal updates. I will definitely be giving my commentary as this story develops. I went to Letitia Pearson's Instagram page right before filming this video. I did not see any IG stories or any posts where she is addressing this. We'll have to see if she does any interviews or addresses this situation at all. But let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts about Miss Kristie Smith coming forward saying that her real life is being used as a storyline on Belle Collective? Are you shocked? I'm shocked by the coincidences. It's just like so like, oh my gosh. And Miss Kristie Smith is down in Mississippi. And what are the odds that it's a Carlos King show? My goodness. I I don't know what to say at this point, but we definitely will continue to watch how this story develops. I thank you all so much for checking out this video. Please hit the like button on this video and subscribe if you have not already done so. We've made it to the end of another work week. I am so thankful. I hope that you had a fantastic Friday. The first half of my workday went smooth. I was gliding. Then the second half, I had all sorts of weird technology issues, honey. Oh my gosh, for like 50 minutes. But I still got my work done. And yeah, now I'm looking back on it, thank goodness. But I think I'm going to look in this liquor cabinet behind me, and I think I'm gonna like pour some wine or something. That's what I think I deserve that. But let me know how your Friday went. I hope it went well, and I will talk with you all soon. Bye.